All right. What's up, everybody? This is Ryan, the automation boss. Another day, another video. All right, so I got something kind of exciting I want to talk to you guys about today. I'm not going to be talking about automations right now or any type of technology. We about to take it all the way back to the old school, the thing that every business owner, every salesperson, every loan officer, every realtor, every lawyer, every salesperson, even if you're in the insurance industry, they all hate it. We're going to talk about the dreaded cold call. Even if it's not cold, even if it's warm, that's what we're going to be talking about today. I got some new things on the horizon that I'm working on. And because of that, I myself had to kind of get myself back acclimated to making calls, making cold calls, getting on the phone. And even though I want to say, I'm pretty good at it myself, but we all can use some work. But I want to show you guys something really quick. Now, this is not something that I built. Now, something that I thought about, I should have did, but someone beat me to it. But sometimes, being that I'm trying to get back into, making my calls and making calls and different things of that nature, sometimes you want to kind of go back and forth with someone role playing. And, these days, a lot of people, because a lot of people don't make phone calls, it's hard to find someone to role play with. But I found this software, this system that will allow you to, role play your cold calls, any type of scenario that you want. So since I found it, I literally just found this like an hour ago. So I was like, I need to make a video about this. It's not my system. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I literally just found it. And I wanted to show you guys really quick. So let me share my screen. I tested it out, did a couple of scenarios, just to kind of get an idea. And it's really, really good. The best part about it, it also gives you feedback after the fact. So let me see. Let me jump on let me share my screen really fast. Got my screen shared and it's called Rhythm. Um it does, like I said, I just found out about this system about maybe 2 hours ago. So it does, a few different things, I believe. But what caught my eye about it is the call simulator. It has a lot of different scenarios, that you can kind of simulate calls, whether it's interviews or cold calling or discovery calls, different things of that nature. I'm going to rock with cold calling. I'm going to do a quick um, mortgage loan officer cold call. I did a couple of them. I did a realtor one and I did a FSBO. So that's what we want to do. I wanted to, so the system is called Rhythm AI. Again, I'm not affiliated with it at all. But I just ran across this, and since I'm, getting back into making calls and cold calling, and helping other people do that the same way, I was like, man, this is cool. So let's test this thing out, and see, let's test out a call really quick. So I've already done this. I've tested it out. But this is where you can create your own scenario. It has some built-in scenarios that didn't have anything to do with anything I was doing in my business. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to create our call scenario. Then we're going to list, then we're going to have a call with it live. So we're going to have it. Well, let's just go through it really quick. So I want to do the famous mortgage loan officer, mortgage broker, FSBO call. So we're gonna call FSBOs, y'all. So we are going to create a cold call. We're going to, there's no company in the call, so no company. And we're gonna call David uh for sale by, oh, I like Caldwell. Let's use Caldwell. Use his voice. Now,
You're going to knock this out of the park. Let's get started.
all right, that's what he sounds like. Now there's four different difficulties. We got easy, medium, hard, and go F yourself. I like doing everything on hard mode. So that's what we're going to do. Now, I already have a scenario built out for David for additional context for David. I did it in DeepSeek, so let's go ahead and copy that. Put this in here. Make sure all of it's in there. I already had a script. I already know the script by heart because I've been doing the FSBO calls for a long time. Let's put all that in there. All right, so we're about to do this call. We're gonna do a cold call. This calling with AI is put on the hardest setting there is. Now, anytime I do any type of call, I take the Hormozy effect. I need to make it an irresistible offer. So when I'm making any type of call, any type of pitch, I'm always thinking about that. I need it to be the offer needs to be so good where they would just feel stupid to say no. And that's what I always try to do that in any scenario that I'm calling on anything, selling anything, pitching anything. I just try to make it just so irresistible where they just feel dumb saying no. So that's what I'm gonna try to do here. We're gonna call a FSBO, and I do this, and I haven't done it in a while, but I've done this in real life. We've called for sale by owners as loan officers, not trying to sell the home and just offering such value where they're almost begging you to give you their information at the end of the call. So let's see how it works. Let me go ahead and put my get in my mode. I'm out of automation boss mode, and I'm in Ryan, the mortgage broker, loan officer mode. All right, let's go. Let's see how it goes. Let's go. Save the start.
Yeah. Hello?
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, Dave. This is Ryan. I'm not a realtor. I promise you, I'm not trying to pitch you on selling your house. I'm actually a loan officer, mortgage broker here in your area. And I was just reaching out to you because I just came across your listing and I wanted to, before I actually started marketing your listing, because I market, a lot of for sale by owners homes for free because it actually helps me get more buyers. And I want to reach out to you before I actually started doing the marketing for it.
Okay, hold on. That was a lot. So, you're a mortgage broker? You're not a realtor, fine. But you said you market FSBO listings for free? What does that even mean? And more importantly, what's in it for you? Because nobody does anything for free.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So I can definitely let you know that. And yes, I definitely do not work for free, but doesn't cost you anything. So it's really a win-win situation. So I would take your listing for your for sale by owner. I would market it, whether that would be running a Facebook ad, marketing it to some of my pre-approved buyers that I already have that may have not seen it, and just posting it on my social media and some other places. How that benefits me is because me marketing your home, so because I'm a loan officer, that brings more buyers to that puts more buyers' eyes to me, and I get paid for doing the loan. So the bank actually pays me for doing the loan. So you don't pay me anything. The actual buyer does not pay me anything. The bank pays me for bringing them a loan. So usually I've been doing this for quite a while, and I think I'm a loan officer that thinks outside the box. So by, marketing some of these for sale by owners, it actually just puts more eyes on your property, but then I get actually buyer opportunities to do more loans, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You make money on the loan, not from me. Fine. But look, I've had like 3 or 4 people call me this week alone saying they can help me sell my house. And they all end up trying to get me to list with them. So I'm a little skeptical here. But let's say I believe you. What makes you think you can get more eyes on my property than I already have? I'm on Zillow. I'm on Facebook Marketplace. I got a sign in my yard. I've had 8 showings. So it's not like nobody knows about it.
Oh, well, like I said, I already pretty much knew that you were on those, platforms. Everybody's first step is going to be Zillow, of course. Congratulations on the 8 showings. That's good. I'm not sure if you said you had any offers or not. But again, like I said, I run ads as well. So it would be one of the, other avenues that I would do for your listing as well. And again, I regardless, I still get potential buyers coming in for whatever marketing that I do. So either way, like I said, it doesn't cost you anything. You get more eyes on your listing because I'm sure you're not running any ads on your listing. So you get more eyes on it regardless. And another thing that I also do that will actually be potentially beneficial for you is, you've had 8 showings. I'm not sure if you had any offers or not, but if you do come across and you have an offer, you can always just as a thank you for letting me market your home. You can always give me a call or shoot me a text, say, "Hey Ryan, I have an offer," and I'll be happy to go over that offer with you, and I can coach you on what to ask to make sure that there is an actual qualified buyer on the other end of that offer.
Okay, okay. So 8 showings, 0 offers. Yeah, you did your homework. Look, I'll be honest with you. It's been frustrating. I thought this was going to be simple. List it, people come, somebody buys it, but I'm getting calls at 9 o'clock at night from people who can't even afford the house. I had one lowball offer that was a joke, and I turned it down. And I don't know. But here's my question. You said you'd help me evaluate offers. How do I know you're not just going to steer me toward buyers who are using you as their loan officer? Because that seems like a pretty obvious conflict of interest, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, I guess you could look at it that way, but at the end of the day, you still hold the ball in your court. You have the final decision. Would I want my, buyer to buy the property? Oh, absolutely. But you also have to remember the market that we're in right now. It's not 2020, 2021, 2022 anymore. If my buyer doesn't buy your home, they'll buy another home because there's a lot of inventory out here in your particular market right now. My goal is to, even though, I get paid from the buyer, I mean, I'm still here to, help you. Now, I will tell you this, there is one little catch. If, for me helping, the only thing that I'm going to need from you is I'm going to need a raving review. That's the only catch. If you're okay with that, I'm okay with helping you in any way that I need to, outside of marketing the home.
A review. That's your big catch? Okay, I'll give you that. That's actually kind of funny. I was expecting something worse. But look, you just said something that actually kind of bothered me a little bit. You said if a buyer doesn't buy my home, they'll just buy another one. So why would your buyers choose my house over somebody else's? What are you actually going to do differently that's going to make that happen? Because right now, I've had 8 people walk through that door and not one of them made an offer. So
Well,
something's not working.
what
And I'm not sure running a Facebook ad is going to fix that.
Well, that's that I may be able to help with maybe some guidance because, like I said, I've been, part of hundreds and hundreds of deals. So if you have a couple of minutes, let's run through that. You had 8 offers. Um, you said the home shows well, it's in good condition. Let me ask you a couple questions really quick, if you're cool with that. Um, are you paying realtor commission?
8 showings, not 8 offers. 8 showings, 0 offers. One low ball that I rejected. And yeah, I'm not paying of doing this myself. Why would I pay 6% to somebody to do something I can do myself? That's like that's like $30,000 on a $500,000 house. No thanks. Why are you asking about commission?
Reason why I asked about that, I'm sorry, I misspoke with that, about the 8 showings. The reason why I'm asking about that is that could be one of the hindrances. Not that you're not paying 6% commission, but for instance, let's say I have a buyer, I'm a realtor, I have a buyer, and say, hey, David, I have a buyer that's interested in the house. You know, my commission is 3%. Let's say the buyer does not have that 3% to pay that commission and you're not paying that commission. How, unless that buyer just really, really, really wants that home, how pumped do you think that realtor is going to be to push your property to that buyer? Or are they going to take it to a property that wants to, that is paying commission?
So, okay, I hadn't really thought about it that way. So you're saying realtors are basically steering their buyers away from my house because I'm not offering them a commission. And since most buyers are working with a realtor, that's actually a pretty big problem, isn't it? How do I fix that without just caving and paying the full 6%? Because
Now,
I'm still not doing that.
now you don't need to pay the 6%. So I'm gonna break it down for you really quick how it usually works. So let's say hypothetically, I'm the listing agent. I come do a listing presentation and say, hey, David, my commission is 6%. We're going to sell your house for 500,000. This is the breakdown of the 6% of 500,000. Now, how it usually works is the listing agent splits that 6% with the buyer's agent because they're saying, hey, you're going to bring me a buyer. I'm getting 6% commission. I'll split this. You get 3, I get 3 because you're bringing me the buyer. So that's where that 6% works. Since you don't have a listing agent, technically, not even technically, you can do whatever you choose. You can say, okay, um, realtor A, you're bringing me this buyer. I'll pay you, I'm paying 3% commission or I'm paying 2% commission. Even if you say I'm paying 1.5% commission, you're still saving over, you're not paying the full 6%. That's option one. Option two, let's say you say, Ryan, I don't care. I'm not paying nobody's commission. They're gonna have to figure that out themselves. Another option is now the bank cannot finance the commission. They can only finance the price of the home. But let's say you're selling your house for 500,000. Let's say the commission is 25,000. That's what the commission is. I'm just throwing out a random number. And you're not going to pay it. The buyer doesn't have an extra $25,000 outside their down payment. What you can do, and the smart realtor would negotiate this and say, okay, David, my commission is 25,000. We're going to offer 525. You still get your 500,000. The realtor still gets their 25,000 in commission. They're just financing it. They're just putting it into the offer. But the home has to appraise at that for that to work. That's just a caveat for that.
Okay, that's actually really interesting. I didn't know you could do it that way. Roll it into the offer price. But wait, you just said the home has to appraise at that number.
Yep.
My house has been sitting for what, almost 90 days now. You think an appraiser is going to come in and hit 525 if I can't even get an offer at 500?
Yeah. So, I mean, to be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you, Dave. The commission part, you might want to think about it. Like I said, you don't have to pay two realtors. You only have to potentially pay one. So that might be something that you want to think about. And then on top of that, that could be an extra market you could put. Well, technically, you can't put that in your listing, I don't believe. But that, I mean, it can't hurt unless you're at a number that you have to get to. Just something to think about. Can I ask you another question as well?
Hold on. You just said I can't put it in my listing publicly. Why not? And also, you're basically telling me that my pricing might be the problem too, aren't you? Because if the house won't appraise at 525 and I'm already sitting at 500 with no offers for 90 days, just say it. You think I'm overpriced, don't you?
I don't know. I haven't pulled up the comps on your property yet, but I can pull them up, and then if you want, we can go over them together on another day. Because I mean that could be it. I mean you've had 8 people looking, um, and no offers, so the price could definitely be it. Can I ask you a little bit of a personal question, if you don't mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, now you don't have to answer this, and we'll keep this between us. I know you came to the 500,000 mark. Is there a reason? Is there a specific number you have to be at to make the home sale make sense, or is that just kind of like a number that you just feel that it's worth?
That's, yeah, that's a fair question. Look, I bought the house for 380. I put about 40 grand into it over the years. New kitchen, redid the bathrooms. So in my head, I'm thinking I should walk away with at least, I don't know, I want to clear around 100, after everything. So 500 felt right to me. But I'll be honest with you, I came up with that number myself. I looked at a couple houses nearby on Zillow and thought, yeah, 500 sounds about right. I didn't do a full deep dive on the comps or anything like that.
I mean, that's no problem. So when we get off the phone today, I'll get your email before we get off, and then I'll shoot you like the detailed comps from the system that I have. And then, like I said, you may want to take a look at it, and then you may want to, and that may be eye opening. It may tell you, hey, I need to bring this price down or bring it up. Let me ask you one last question. Are you offering any closing cost?
Closing costs?
Meaning,
No.
are you paying closing costs for the buyer?
No. Why would I pay their closing costs? They're buying my house. I'm already not using a realtor to save money. Now you want me to pay their closing costs too?
No,
How much are we even talking about here?
you don't have to. But that is some, like, for instance, have you ever seen a new construction? Like, have you ever looked at new construction or seen one of their ads where new construction, like, hey, buy this property and we're paying up to $10,000 in closing costs.
Yeah, I've seen those ads. Okay, I see where you're going with that. It's like an incentive to get buyers in the door. But I'm not a builder with 50 houses to sell. I've got one house. Every dollar I give away in closing costs is coming straight out of my pocket. So help me understand, is this actually going to make a difference? Or is this just another thing that's going to cost me money?
It potentially could make a difference. We don't know until we tested it. Well, I shouldn't say we, until you test it in the market. Because also you have to look at it too. Look at the market that we're in right now. Remember I said before, we're not in 2020, 2021, 2022 when, there was hardly no inventory and people were paying 50,000, sometimes $100,000 over asking. We're in a market where rates are high, taxes are high, insurance is high, everything is high. Eggs are almost $10 a carton. So we have less buyers in the market because rates are high, and we have a lot more sellers. So if, let's say, your competition is priced $50,000 lower than you are, and they're paying commission and they're paying five, six, $10,000 in closing costs, even if they like their house more, if that house makes their pockets feel better, what house you think they're going to go to?
Yeah, I hear you. So basically what you're telling me is I might be getting beat on three fronts: price, commission, and closing costs. And I've been sitting here for 90 days thinking the house just hasn't found the right buyer yet, but really I'm losing on the math before anyone even walks through the door.
Potentially. Now, again, I'm not a realtor and I'm not telling you to give away money. I'm just kind of bringing up some of the things that you might not have thought about just because, like, you don't know what you don't know. So I'm not telling you go give away 3% in realtor commission and another 3% in closing costs and all these different things, and then drop your price by $100,000. Not telling you to do that. I just want you to know all the different things that could potentially be causing you to be on the market for 90 days and have 8 showings and 0 offers.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And honestly, this has been the most useful conversation I've had since I put that sign in my yard. Most people just call me trying to get me to list with them, and I hang up in about 30 seconds. So look, What's the next step here? You said you'd pull comps, send them to my email. What else are you thinking?
Well, let's do this. All right. So I'll get the email before we get off the phone. Let's set up a call tomorrow, if tomorrow's free for you, ideally after 2, and then come up with every single question that you may have. Even if you got to go get the questions off Chat GPT, and then we'll go over that tomorrow and we'll come up with a game plan, whatever you may be comfortable with. And then we'll go from there. Let me ask you another quick question. I'm sorry if I'm rambling. Do how are you doing showings? Are they just calling and then say, hey, just show up on Saturday? Or how are you orchestrating your showings?
I mean, pretty much, yeah. Somebody texts me or calls me off the Zillow listing. I say, yeah, come on by. We set a time. I walk them through the house myself. Is that is that wrong?
No, no, no. There's nothing wrong with that. Reason why I asked that as well, because I'm sure you're probably getting text messages at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, first thing in the morning. I have a system, again, I'm not pitching anything, doesn't cost you a dime, it's 100% free. I have a system that will take your phone calls for you. I'll train it on your listing with all the information for your listing, so you don't have to answer all those mundane questions. Um, and then it will take the call. It'll give them whatever information they want or need. It'll ask them if they're already pre-approved. It'll ask them if they have a realtor, and then it will book a showing on your calendar, without you even having to take the call. If you want to have access to that, we can set that up too. The only thing I would ask is, if you do use that, I need another review for that as well, because I actually do sell that to realtors. Realtors pay me to use that. I call it the listing concierge. But for you, for any FSBOs, I let them use it for free because I use you guys as my testimonials.
Okay, now that I actually like, because yeah, you're right. I got a text at 9:30 last night asking me if the house had a 2-car garage. Information that is literally in the listing. So this thing will handle all that for me? Screen them, check if they're pre-approved, book the showing? And you're telling me this is all free? The marketing, the comps, the AI system, helping me evaluate offers. I mean, look, I'm not an idiot. You're building a relationship with me because you want to be the loan officer when my buyer comes through. I get it. I'm not mad at it. That's actually pretty smart. So, what do I need to do to get this set up?
All right, so before we get off the phone, you'll give me your email address. I'll shoot you the comps, and then what time did you want to do tomorrow? You want to do about 3 o'clock tomorrow? Are you available that time, or you want to push it to another day or time?
Yeah, 3 o'clock tomorrow works for me. Let's
Okay,
do it.
I'll put you in
And
my
hey, I gotta say. No, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead and say what you're going to say.
No, I was just gonna say, and I appreciate you being straight with me today. Like I said, most people who call me, I hang up on pretty quick. So, yeah, 3 o'clock tomorrow. What's the best number to reach you at?
Oh, my phone number is 555-555-5555.
Got it. I'll save that. And go ahead and grab my email. It's dave@gmail.com. And
Yeah,
hey, don't. All right. Talk tomorrow, Ryan.
perfect. Talk to you then. See you. Bye. Or you can go ahead and end the call now.
All right. End call. Okay, Ryan, good call. Let me give you the breakdown. Overall rating, I'd give that a 7 out of 10. You built real rapport with the hostile FSBO and got a booked meeting. That's a win. But there were some rough edges that would cost you in the field. What you did well, your opener was solid. I'm not a realtor. I'm not asking for a listing. Disarmed me immediately. That's the right move. You also did a great job uncovering pain points organically. The commission conversation, the showing process, the 9 p.m. texts, you let me reveal my own frustrations instead of just pitching at me. And the listing concierge reveal at the end was a strong close. Save the best for last. Where you need to improve, Your pacing early in the call was all over the place. That first explanation of what you do was way too long and rambly. In the field, I hang up during that. You also stumbled when I caught you saying 8 offers instead of 8 showings. Small mistake, but it broke your credibility for a second. And when I pushed back on conflict of interest, your answer was okay, but not sharp enough. You need a tighter, more confident response ready for that one. The critical fix: tighten your value prop to 30 seconds max. Right now, it takes you almost 2 minutes to explain what you do and why it's free. That's 2 minutes a real Dave hangs up in. Suggested script adjustment. Instead of the long explanation, try something like, I make money when buyers get loans, so I find buyers, send them your way, help you evaluate offers, all at zero cost to you. The bank pays me, not you. Done. Clean. Confident. Good call overall. Want to run it again?
No, thanks. All right. So just like that, I know I'm long-winded, so that call did go over, and I was kind of talking to him like I would be talking to a real person. So I do ramble a little bit, but I do, build good, relationships on the phone. But like I said, I love how this is set up. I love how it gives you the feedback after, and then this part here, it actually um breaks it down in writing for you to review later. So I think this is called Rhythm.ai. Um, will I be purchasing it? No, because I can build this because I can build this myself. But for those of you that aren't that tech savvy and um, you need something to, build or need something to, kind of go back and forth with and, get your timing right and get your cold calls or just not even just cold calls. You do any type of calls with these. Um, the AI that this guy has built is actually really, really, really good. But yeah, that's all I wanted to go over today. Like anytime I come across something new, I always want to jump on, let you guys know what I found. And then pretty soon I'll be letting you guys know the new thing that I'm working on that has to do with making calls and cold calls and generating more business calls. But other than that, it's again Ryan, the automation boss. Another day video. Um, and peace out.